Hello, English 10. This is Ms. Long here. Hope you had a fabulous warm weekend, something that maybe is starting to feel more summer-like around here. I probably shouldn't use that word summer quite so soon, but spring break is definitely on the horizon. We've got about 2 weeks, and we will be wrapping up Steinbeck before spring break. And then after spring break, we'll come back to a different unit, Unit 7 on the Raisin in the Sun. And both these students, I'm aware that your spring break is a different schedule than ours, so I'm working to make sure that that first unit for Unit 7 is available over spring break. But a little bit more on that next week, as that will be our last week. This week in Session 3, your goal is to finish your book. And then in the final session, you'll be doing discussion and take a quiz over it, and you'll create some projects to show what you've gotten out of your books. So in this session, you're going to read the book. You're going to keep a reading log, the same reading log that you've been doing. And then you're going to find a poem that has a similar theme, poetry, with a similar theme, and become a more versatile reader with versatile strategies by being able to make some connections and patterns in poetry and patterns in your book. So these are the assignments. This is roughly the timeline that you should be looking at. As you finish your book, remember that you're going to be using the reading log, and some of you have missed this. This is the template right here that is available to you. You click on this. You'll be asked to make a copy, and when you make a copy, this will pop up. So most of you have gotten it, but a few of you may have been confused about where that was. And it's the same template. You're finding vocabulary words, you're using the strategies of good readers as you read, and then you're reviewing your reading at the end with some questions and answers. That's basically it for the big project this week. And then the second project you're going to look at is a connection to poetry. You're going to find a poem on a similar theme or core idea. I'm a little reluctant to say theme since love is kind of a big topic, but it's the basis of a lot of themes. Or friendship is kind of a big topic, but there are a lot of things you could say about friendship. So there's a nice British analyst here talking about how you can analyze poems, looking at things like the stanzas, how many lines are there before there's a break, the rhyme scheme, the rhythm of the poem, and how is the message communicated, often through repeated words, repeated phrases, things like that. So you can use each of these poem resources here, find a poem, and then you'll write a 1 to 2 paragraph response that shows how your poem explains the same idea as Steinbeck's book. 2 different types of literature, but 2 ideas that are expressed through patterns. So you can use the template, the Whopper template here that's also found at the bottom, and that basically is putting a bunch of PEAs together. You have a PEA, point, evidence, analysis, point, evidence, analysis, point, evidence, analysis for a real solid paragraph. And that's basically say something, prove it, tell how you proved it. It's kind of a pretty straightforward way of writing. There is an example here provided for you on the idea of ordinary people that connects to the book Tortilla Flat. Ordinary people who go around living their lives, nothing special, that's what's special. So here's an example poem you can, or example paragraph you can follow, and that's what you'll turn in for your second assignment. Your third assignment then will be your weekly journal. And your weekly journal, on this week, I want you to think about the ending. Steinbeck has some zinger of endings, things that will leave you thinking. Grapes of Wrath was certainly controversial. Certainly as people began to depict that final scene in art, it became extremely controversial. Number of elements about that book that were. Mice and Men, you get to the ending and it's like, whoa, this is really saying something here. And same with The Pearl, it kind of brings things full circle. And same thing with Tortilla Flat. There's an ending that will leave you thinking. So, as you're headed into your journal this week, write about that ending. Did you expect it? Were you prepared for it? Did you see the foreshadowing in the book? And does it contribute to the message? And how does it contribute to the message? And then as you think about this book, it's the end of the book, how will you incorporate what you got out of this book into your own life philosophy? Because that's kind of the point of reading. I remember a quotation somewhere from someone, I wish I had more detail, who said that if you're the same person at 50 as you were at 30, then that's 20 wasted years. And I remember another person saying that you're the same person at 30 as you were at 20, except for the books you've read and the people you've met. And so if you want to be developing yourself as a person, incorporate those books into your life, and you do tend to change. Well, without belaboring that point, that's basically your journal topic here, and that will wrap up the week. Now, on the final week, we'll be doing projects, we'll be doing quizzes. Make sure you've got the reading done, and that week will go very smoothly, and then you can go into spring break feeling like you're at a good place. So have a great week and be in touch with questions. Happy reading.